Hi everyone, this is Kathy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have another card for you, a Halloween card this time, or again I should say, using the Simon Says Stamp Happy Hauntings Stamptember release stamp, which are these little dragons dressed up for Halloween, which are totally adorable. So I put in my card stock, my card panel into my Misty, and I'm going to go ahead and prime that because this is a brand new stamp for me. So I'm priming it before I use my favorite things, hybrid black ink, and I'm going to Copic color this image. I'm going to stamp this twice using my Misty. I love my Misty for these things, so that way you always don't get it right the first time, so it's always good to have it to get it right the second time. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. I'm cleaning off my stamp and I'm going to pull that out. And then I'm going to Copic color the image. In a second, I'm going to bring out my Copic colors. There, I'm going to put that aside. But I'm probably going to put music through this process as I'm speeding through it. Okay, so now I am finished with the Copic coloring, and now I'm adding with my black gel pen some of the part of the eyes, and just to give it a little bit more definition, since I covered it up mostly with the Copic coloring. But sorry, that's a little bit out of frame. As you can see, a little bit of the Copic coloring went down to the from the balloon went down and seared out. So I was a little bit bothered by that, and I was trying to correct it, but I'm just going to leave it as it is. It's not too bad once the finished card is completed. So now I'm going to do a black panel card base for that. And I'm also going to die cut my little stamped image, stamped and colored image. And I use my Waffle Flowers A2 size layers for my back panel. And now I am going to take one of the other images, which is the spider web from the stamp set, and I figured I'm going to emboss that using my static powder tool. And sorry guys, I was a little bit out of frame there, but there's the spider web, and I'm stamping it with my Versamark ink, and I'm going to, I think I'm just stamping it one time, and I'm going to add some glitter embossing powder that I have, that I believe is from Judykins. I'm putting my stamp away. Yes, it's a Judykins glitter embossing powder. And I'm going to go ahead and put that there, and then I'm going to heat it with my heat tool. Diamond Sparkle is what it's called. I missed a little spot, so I'm just going back to put a little bit more of that embossing powder on there. So the size of the panel is just going to be a little bit smaller than an A2 size card, because again, I like to have a little bit of the border on the outside. But as soon as that embossing powder gets melted, it's like magic and glittery goodness. And in hindsight, I was like, I only had done that one corner, but afterwards I was like, man, I should have put it all around the whole panel. It would have stood out a lot more. But anyway, maybe for the next card. So now I'm going to take the die cut that goes along with that stamp set, and I'm going to die cut out my little image. After the die cut, you can't see too much of what's smeared from the little balloon coloring. But I get my A2 size top folding card, and I'm placing my black panel down. I love that Waffle Flower A2 size dies. They're perfect for cards because you don't even have to think of the size that you want to put on there. So I have my my card base pinned down, and I'm trying to figure out where it is that I want to put it. I even thought about cutting out the piece of the web and maybe popping it up. So I'm just trying to figure out what sentiment I'm going to use, and appropriately I just chose the Happy Hauntings sentiment, which goes along with the stamp set. There's so many cute images in this stamp set. I'm definitely going to be making more cards with the other stamp sets as well. So I'm popping up my black panel with some foam tape on that one. I was thinking also too on a one of the Nina beige like Desert Storm cardstock, and using colored pencils as well to color in these images would be so awesome too. So now I'm stamping my sentiment. Sorry guys, I just realized afterwards when I filmed this that I was a little bit out of frame, but hopefully I go back there. There you go, you can see that I stamped it with some black ink, and I'm gonna cut it out with punch that I have, because the sentiments don't come with dies. So I'm putting down my panel, my black panel. And those are backgrounds that I was working on previously, and I wanted to see if that fit, but it didn't give really like a Halloween vibe, so I just decided to make the spider webs. Eventually I will come back into frame. I'm pushing the card little by little, so I will. I'm going to pop up that little sentiment with my foam tape, which is not too high. And then I'm going to pop up my little guy there as well. I got my tweezers for this one just to make sure I keep it nice and put it in the right place. One of the little foam dots came out, or the foam tape came out for his little hat, so I wanted to get everything solid there. So now I'm going to put some bling, and I was trying to debate which ones. I had this little assortment from Picket Fence Studios that came with one of my stamp orders, and it was perfect for this. It had some greens, it had some golds, and that was a little added touch, because after I didn't put the spider webs would have been perfect like all throughout the card. For my next one, I'm definitely going to do that. So I'm just trying to put about, odd number of bling, just so it looks symmetrical, so to speak, and some underneath the image, just peeking out of the image. I definitely got my inspiration from others online that do these cards as well, like Kathy Zilski and Jennifer McGuire and Amy from Prairie Paper and Ink. Those are definitely my inspirations for these little cards. And I'm popping it in popping down my little bling with my art glitter glue. And I figured it was still missing a little bit of something something, so I grabbed my glossy accents, and I was making to make the balloon shine and make it look more like a balloon. You're not going to be able to see it initially, but at the end when there's pictures and close-ups, you'll see after it's dry. It was so cool. I love adding glossy accents to places where, oops, that was my Alexa. And then just making sure that it covers everything, because sometimes it leaves little bubbles. I'm going to stamp my information about my card in the back of the card, and then that's drying. A little bit I was touching the back because it was kind of like I'm trying to straighten out the card so it lays flat, and also the black card base was didn't have some foam tape in that area, but it fixed. And then just one final touch, I'm adding in some shimmer. I forget what this little shimmer pen, it's really old, but it still was working. I hadn't used it in such a long time, but I added some shimmer to my dragon as well as to the top of his hat, just for some final touches and make it look more shiny. His Halloween has to be shiny and glimmery, doesn't it? I love that. And I think that I call it done. And hopefully you'll see better pictures there when trying to get the black. Sometimes it has a little powder, but I hope you guys enjoyed the card, and stay tuned for more. Have a great day, everybody. Bye. Thanks for watching.